Hey guys, check it out. Today I've got a cool vine I want to show you that I have here in my yard. So this is a passion fruit vine, and so if you look here, you can see where it's planted, and then it grows over this way and it goes out 15-20 feet that way, and it ends right there. That's my grapevine over there, and then it comes this way, takes a 90-degree turn, comes over here. So it goes about 15 to 20 feet in each direction, and so these can take up a lot of real estate, and you can prune them back as much or as little as you like, and they are evergreen. And so what I really like about this is if you kind of stand back here and you can see it just adds kind of some depth. You know, you got this color here, and then the back wall is just green, so I just have it trellised along this back wall, and I think it adds like a little bit of just kind of like a nice splash of color that's more interesting than looking at just the plain white wall. And stays green all year round. And so let me get in here and I'll show you this foliage, because I like the way this looks. It's very beautiful, just a nice vibrant green color. This is the new growth here. This is what it looks like. And so here's the flowers. So you can see this is a very young flower here, and then it matures, and you can kind of see, and my phone's not going to focus, but you can kind of see in the middle there you have the flower bud forming, and then as it matures it'll start to look like this, and then when it's fully ready it'll open up, and there it is, just this beautiful flower. I love these. These are probably the prettiest flower in my yard. I just love the way these look. And so you can see it's got several flowers on it right now. And these will turn into fruit. Not all of them, but a lot of them. And I don't do anything special to try to hand pollinate them. They just kind of pollinate on their own. Excuse me. So I have this planted in full sun, which I think if I had to do it over, I'd probably give it a little bit of relief. So sun rises over here and then just gets up here and beats on it all day long, and it sets over there and there's no shade at all day long, just full sun. And so towards the end of the summertime it'll start looking a little rough, and that's something you have to be ready for on these. It's normal. They'll start to, the leaves will kind of start to look like this. So this is what you'll see in August and September, when this thing's kind of tired from a long hot summer. So kind of anticipate that. And if I had to do it over again, I probably would have planted it back in this corner of my yard, and that way the sun would kind of shade it a little bit in the afternoon and give it just a little bit of relief. And instead I would probably put a grapevine here, because grapevines love that heat, and they can take that full sun all day long. So let's see, you can see the growth habit on it. You can kind of train it, and you have to train it along this trellis, but what it naturally wants to do, you can see the fence lines right here, and it wants to grow up into the sun above that fence. So what I have to do during the growing season is I have to come out here and I have to trim it, and that's not fun when it's 115 degrees out, you know, but I got to do it to keep it in my yard, keep it from going out into the common areas in the neighbor's yard. So I just noticed a little fruit here. I can show you guys what they look like. So this is what they look like when they're young, and so they'll get a little bit bigger than this, and I've got a couple inside. I'll take you in and show you the fruit, but these will get a little bit bigger and they fall off when they're ripe. And I've had them fall off when they're this color before. If you take them in, put them in a brown paper bag for several days, they will ripen up. They'll turn purple. So purple is their final color when they're ready to eat. Let me show you. I got some lessons learned on this particular plant, because when I planted it, I didn't have much experience, and so I planted it kind of deep below grade, and so my soil doesn't drain very well, so I had to dig down pretty deep. And then I planted it probably 3 or 4 inches below grade, and then it sunk. And so at this point it's probably about a foot, 8 inches to 12 inches deeper than I'd like it. And so what happens when I put mulch in here is it all just falls down around the trunk, and it's really difficult to come out here and try to push the mulch away to try to keep that clear down there. So I planted it too deep. The other even bigger issue, when I bought this, it was thin, just a thin vine like that, and it was multiple vines. And so I bought this from a big box store, and they had, for presentation purposes, they had it kind of braided, and it looked kind of neat. You know, when I planted it, I just planted the stake and everything, and I didn't think much of it. But you can see that's a big mistake. So if you go and you buy one of these from the nursery and it's braided around each other like this, you want to make sure you straighten that out, because if you look, this had 3 vines to start with. There's one back here, one there, and then the green one. And you can see they were all competing for the same resources. And this green one obviously won, and these other 2 died back. But there's some damage done. If you look here, you can see that's kind of cutting off the flow of nutrients up into this entire plant. So I need to come out here and cut that back a little bit and see if I can fix it. But if you're buying one of these, just take a minute and make sure that you don't have one of the trunks that are braided, which is kind of frustrating. I don't know why they do that and why I didn't think about it, but I was very inexperienced with these. So what else can I tell you? As far as cold goes, we've had several freezing nights that these have made it through. If it gets down into the high 20s, you're going to want to protect it. It'll start dying back at freezing, but it's usually not too bad. It's not going to be a huge issue for you. And so, you know, having it on this wall helps. So this wall heats up during the day and then radiates some of that heat at night. And so I haven't had too much problem with it. So I only protect it if it gets down into the 20, you know, 29 or below. All right, so let me go inside, and I'm going to show you what the fruit looked like and talk about what it tastes like and that sort of thing. So we'll go check that out now. All right, so here we are. This is what it looks like when it's ripe. You can see how it's got a purple color. And so I brought it in. When I brought it in, it was kind of plump, but I like to leave them on the counter until they start to wrinkle like this. This is when they're fully ripe. And so when I smell it, there's no smell to note really on the outside. So I'm going to cut this open. We'll take a look at what the inside looks like, and then we'll give it a little taste. But this is what I do. I normally just cut these right in half like this. And there it is. This one's a little bit dry. They're a lot of times they're a little bit juicier than this. But it was kind of a very hot summer and not a great year for these passion fruits. So just a note. I don't know that this is the most appetizing looking fruit that I have in my yard, but it's very, well, let me just take a bite here. So I just kind of dig it out like that, and you can see those are seeds in here. I have a little bit of crunch, probably similar to pomegranate seeds. And it is so sour. It's extremely sour, but it tastes really good. And it has kind of an undertone of like a Hawaiian fruit punch that you can buy in the store. It kind of has, that's kind of the aftertaste and kind of the undertaste, if you get, you know, beneath the sour taste. But man, this is a fun fruit. You know, if you don't mind sour, I like sour things, and this is just, it's really fun because there's nothing else like it. It's very unique. And yeah, I've given these to friends before that are not familiar, and I don't think they particularly liked them. So it might be an acquired taste. Very first one I had, I bought from the store. You can a lot of times find these in the store, and you can buy them and try them out. But
sweet tart and Starburst mixed.
Like a sweet tart and a Starburst mix. Yeah, that's actually a good comparison. So anyway, that's what the fruit's like. I like them. My family, we all enjoy them. It's just something different that you're not going to find anywhere else. So I'll go outside and wrap up this tree real quick. All right, guys, so that's going to wrap up the video. So if you're kind of looking for a vine that you want to maybe put along, you got a wall that you want to dress up a little bit and you got some space for it. They do grow pretty well here in Phoenix, Arizona. So this is definitely a pretty easy one to grow. Just don't make the same mistakes that I have made with it. Anticipate it to be a little yellow just a little bit towards the end of summer, and it's going to die back in the winter time when you get down to freezing. But other than that, it's pretty easy, and you can just put it on the trellis and you'll just have to prune the top and keep it in your yard. Anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope this helped out. Thanks for watching.